You're telling me that if my objective is to be truthful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so on the subject of having your daily journal being documented, and like certainly there must be a goal to keep you moving to say, oh, I want to have so many viewers by this time, or I want to express such and such information by this time. But like those are all short-sighted goals to keep you while you're in it. Later on, when you look at it a year from now, you're going to look at it like we were saying, with completely different intentions. You might be aiming for something else in your life, but you'll have this record of your life, a year of your life there, to pick information out that you couldn't even see was important at this moment while you're in it, while you're making it.
Totally.
So if your aim is to be truthful as you can in every video, so that when you look back at it, you're like, I wasn't fronting, I was expressing an idea that I actually needed to consider. And
regardless of how I'm going to feel about that idea in that future moment.
No judgment, but like with literally just an intellectual curiosity that you're exploring, and people who will witness to that could be benefited, but it is by no means your duty to extend your wisdom to others, because people are not receptive to that.
I feel that it is my duty to extend my wisdom to others.
Okay, but I just mean in the way that people, as a generalization, don't like to be taught, which is why I like to invite.
They like to be shown.
Right, exactly. They like to be shown the way. Right. So if you're...
I'm trying to show an example,
right,
especially as a beautiful woman, that what is important is quality of heart and mind.
Certainly. And just responding to what you said before about wanting to focus on keeping your ego out of it so that it comes off as a pure expression, I mean, that's what I'm talking about, is when you're as truthful as possible in each video with no other intention. Because if you were just doing it for followers, then you'd cut some corners, or you'd sell yourself short, or you'd sell out a little bit on an issue or another just to make people happy, and that's not being truthful to you necessarily.
And I'm not doing that, but the temptation is there.
It's
certainly an experimentation, and there have been a few choices that I've made, a few videos that I've made that I then thought, what am I doing?
Sure.
This is not a good move.
Editing is the crux of it. Like what you said, when you reach another plane, when you edit, that's absolutely what happens. You go into God mode on your own creation. At one point, you're in it and your hands are dirty, but on the second you have a space from it, and you're like, oh, look what somebody put here for me. Let me manipulate this. Let me move this around. And so you can take this whole other aspect. You can bring in other concepts that maybe you weren't thinking of in the moment of filming. You know what I mean? That can be revealed in editing. And so you're gonna get better as an editor at expressing what Rumi expresses ambiguously through his poems. You follow a Rumi poem literally, you're not gonna get the message. It's the way that he positions the words so you get what he's getting at. You know what I mean? And the better you get at editing your truth, the more it will come off as an ode to truth.
It is an ode to truth.
An ode to you.
It's not an ode to me.
Well, I mean, again, and even starting off without that intention, this is what practice and skill are for.
Practice.
Because
every day.
Right.
That's why I put out a video every day.
Exactly.
Because I want to get better as quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
And that means practicing as much as possible.
Right.
And then,
And as you get better at looking at yourself objectively, as a performance, as and cementing your truth, so that you can look back at a video maybe that you made a month ago and say, oh, that wasn't completely in alignment. Now I know how I would say it better. You know what I mean? If you're looking at it with that objective eye, then eventually you will be as good a poet as Rumi, and you will be able to move yourself move your ego to the side while yourself is still being a vessel. People want to be attracted to your energy, and they want to take your cues. You know what I mean? What they don't want is to be told what to do, because it implies that what they're doing is wrong. And that's why I always like to invite people to art making, because they do it themselves. They prove it themselves. They look at me with happiness because I am the provider of safety for them.
Absolutely.
Not provider of facts for them.
I believe that people take comfort in me in a similar way.
I believe so too.
Yeah, creating that safe space.
That you is your motivation for doing this is the right one.
I believe in my own motivation as well, and that's why it's actually very easy to do it, because I believe in why I'm doing it. So even when the result of the day's work is less than exciting, I know that at least I'm doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, even if I'm not doing a good job yet.
Faculty,
I'm doing it.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm at such a novice stage, and it's cool. It's cool.
I hate being new at things too.
Oh, being new at things sucks.
At that point where you start,
especially when you're making public. Yeah.
Hey, like every time I've ever gotten thrown into a new situation, like everybody else knows more than I do, then you turn into a big joke how much you suck, and it makes people like love you, and it makes you a joy to teach.
Well,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
I want to stop because I want to put this on the internet so that I feel that I've checked the box for the day. I think there's something valuable in the conversation that we've had that if somebody else watches it, they can absorb that value as well. This was a brief conversation with one of my dearest friends about not every one of my videos is going to be good, but where is your daily effort to contribute something meaningful to the world? It's a daily effort. Sometimes it's lethargic or fatigued.
Well, you know what? I think of it too
Where's
as
your effort?
the daily effort to know who you are today, who you want to be today.
Totally.
It's the same reason that we
Rat
check
Sacrifice.
our horoscope, the
Rat
same
Sacrifice
reason that
girl
we-
is way different from like yesterday's girl.
right.
Rat Sacrifice girl.
And like, how do you know how you want to go about being today if you haven't tested the waters? You know, if you haven't seen. And so, like, the Artist Way recommends a free ride every morning.
that
and
here. I have
people
to-
do
we
tarot
gotta go.
readings and
We're going to a museum. Maybe tomorrow's video will be from the museum. And also, I will cover what is vision, but that's just, I'll cover it. It's coming. I was supposed to be for today. I was going to cover what is vision.